my dear children. Welcome to our online class. In the previous class, you had learned about power sharing, different forms of power sharing, majoritarian measures in Sri Lanka, etc. I think you have gone through this. Due to the present situation, our school has arranged the online classes. Kindly make use of it. Now we will move on to the next chapter, federalism. What is federalism? What are the key features of federalism? What is the origin of federalism? Now we will discuss all these things. The term federalism has derived from the Latin word feudus, F-O-E-D-U-S, which means pact, treaty or covenant. Treaty means an agreement. What is federalism? Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. Once more I will repeat. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. Usually we can say that federalism has two levels of government. One is the government for entire country. It looks after the common national interest. And the second one is state level or provincial level. It looks after the day-to-day administering of their state. In this sense, we can say that all federations are contrasted to the unitary form of government. What is unitary form of government? Children, please listen. Unitary form of government, three main points are there. You must learn these 3 points. First one is, there is one level of government. The speciality of unitary form of government is one level of government. And the second point is, if more than one level exists, the sub-units are subordinate to the central government. That's the speciality of unitary form of government. Sub-units are subordinate to the central government. Third one is, only central government can pass the law and sub-units have to follow it. The central government can pass the law and sub-units have to follow it. The central government has the power to pass all laws. These are the main points related to unitary form of government. Is it clear? Next is federal form of government. First point is, there is two or more levels of government. Two or more levels of government. Best example, our country, India. At the second point, central government cannot order the state government to do something. Third point is, state government has its own power and is separately responsible. That means, all state governments are independent. Children, is it clear? These are the differences between these two governments, unitary form of government and federal form of government. Once more, I will repeat. There is one level of government. In federal government, there is two or more levels of government. And the second point, unitary form of government, if more than one level exists, the sub-units are subordinate to the central government. In federal form of government, central government cannot order the state government to do something. And the third point, in unitary government, only central government can pass the law and sub-units have to follow it. In federal government, state government has its own power and is separately responsible. Children, is it clear? Now we will move on to the next point. What are the key features of federalism? Okay? Key features of federalism. First point is, there are two or more levels or tiers of government. Tier means level. Two or more levels means central government, state government and local self-government. Local self-government, you already know that Panchayat, Zilla Parishad and municipalities, etc. And the second point is, different tiers of government govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation and administration. What is jurisdiction? So one more question. Please listen, it's an important question. What is jurisdiction? The area over which someone has legal authority, that is jurisdiction. The area may be defined in terms of geographical boundaries or in terms of certain kinds of subjects. Children, is it clear? Then third point, the jurisdictions of the respective levels or tiers of government are specified in the Constitution. Listen carefully. Specified in the Constitution. So the existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. These jurisdictions of the respective levels of the government are specified in the Constitution. Is it clear? And then fourth point, the fundamental provisions of the Constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of government. Such changes require the consent of both the levels of government. With the consent of both the levels of government, we can change the fundamental provisions of the Constitution. Okay? Then fifth point is, courts have the power to interpret the Constitution and the powers of different levels of government. The highest court acts as an umpire if disputes arise between different levels of government in the exercise of their respective powers. If any disputes arise there, the highest court acts as an umpire. Umpire means mediator. The next point is, sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. The sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly mentioned or specified to ensure its financial autonomy. And the seventh point is, the federal system has the dual objectives. Dual objectives means two objectives. First one is to safeguard and promote the unity of the country. It's very important. First point is the unity of the country. And the second objective is accommodate regional diversity. These are the main two objectives. First one, unity of the country, and the second one, accommodate regional diversity. Children, is it clear? As a result, federalism has two aspects. First one is mutual trust. Second one, agreement to live together. Children, federalism has two aspects. First one is mutual trust and second one is agreement to live together. Is it clear? Okay children, thank you very much. See you in the next class.